Okay, we're finally going over this after over a week now, I think. Alright. So, what happened? Annie Rebel and Animethon and bonus 1 year summary. Yup, you got your blanket, coffee, cookie. Let's go. Let's do this. Everybody better have their snacks because this is gonna be a long one. Alright, so Annie Revel. Let's start off with Annie Revel. I think I'll go by picture and then I'll go over my freaking written essay. Go backwards, I guess, afterwards. Oh no, because I have to start it this way. So let's start with Annie Revel. Welcome to my PowerPoint presentation. Hi, I am Fruit Melody. Okay, so Annie Revel. Wow, I said Annie Revel like 8 times. I'm sorry. This opportunity was most graciously sponsored by, kidding, offered to me by Cloud Dead Club, aka Drencelios on Twitch. Oh, I should have gotten his name here. All right. So big shout out because without him, I wouldn't even have been at Annie Revel. And my sister for connecting us. Big thank you to the both of them. My sister being Expired Kimchi, which I've shouted out before. And Expired Kimchi, it's easier to type up. It's just Expired Kimchi, literally. Just how it sounds. All right. So, Annie Revel, this was the very first time that I got a perspective in the vendor section. Hi, Corey.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
What is that? Doesn't even make any sense.
Yikes.
Maybe I should turn that off during this. Anyway, so that actually makes sense because the convention booth, this was the smallest booth I have ever done. But anyway, I digress. Let me finish. Let me read my essay. It felt very different from the usual talkative, slow-paced artist alley where people took their time browsing, asked a lot of questions about the art. I felt like people made transactions much faster, most likely because they just thought I worked for the artist because I was in the vendors hall. This mindset was backed by people asking if I was paid enough to be in such a small booth. So, small booth. This is Exhibit A. So, for context, I had a 2x4 space that I had to work with, meaning my area for sitting down, this bench here is 2 by 1. It's 2 by 1. All right, that's the amount of space I had to sit with, but I had my legs sticking out over here, so my knees were on the front section, so there was a tiny bit more room than 2 by 1. They thought you were both, babe. Well, thank you, because I did cosplay every single day. But guess what? I was so tired, I didn't really take much photo. Oh wait, no, I ended up taking some photos for Annie Revel because I took photos with other people. But then Animethon, I don't know why I didn't take photos. But yeah, I cosplayed as Bae, but I didn't take photos. So if anybody here is watching and you were there at Animethon and you took a photo with me, I would greatly appreciate if you DM me so that I can have a photo of that time with you guys. I would really appreciate it because I don't know why I didn't take photos. I think it was because it was moving along so fast. I didn't wanna get my phone out and delay the flow of traffic to ask for photos. I don't know. I'm just tired too. Get sleep and still gets in. Sleep? Oh, for story time? The real booth babe can't even fit in, bro. All right, back to my essay. I will read. Okay, back to my script. Since the pacing was very different, I did not get as many photos as I normally would, as people came and went pretty fast. But maybe also because my brain was pretty fried that weekend, there was this one girl who cosplayed as Shifty that I wish I took a photo of. She dropped by on the last day, and I thought she was so freaking cute, but I was so dizzy. I was getting so dizzy because I only had 11 hours of sleep for those 4 days. So the day before the convention started, and the rest of the days, I had 11 hours to split between those 4 days, and I was getting so dizzy. I forgot to take a photo. I forgot to even ask her. I just felt so bad because she was so freaking cute. And because she dropped by before, I took a photo of her other cosplay, I think. But I don't know. I remember I spoke to her prior, and then she came by again wearing the Shifty fit, and I was like, "You're so adorable and Shifty, dude. Shifty needs more representation. People do not like Shifty enough. I've only ever had 1 or 2 people get a Shifty from me because I don't know why. Shifty's great." But yeah, I'm really sorry. I really do wish I took a photo. You're freaking adorable. If you're watching this, you're freaking adorable, and Shifty does just not get enough praise. All right, so the lack of sleep. There were some last minute adjustments that had to be done a few days before the convention had started because I was told that the layout was gonna be like this because I don't know, but basically I thought they were gonna be there, but they decided to go back to the original plan of not being there. And then I thought, okay, I can't really delegate my stuff for someone else to do because you need to know all the character names, and it was kind of a mess. So that's why I had to figure out how I was gonna sit with all my stuff in a 2x4 space instead of sitting behind a table having all the stuff. So I spent another $100 something to buy all these pieces and asked Locke to cut it up so that it can work. 2 days before the convention started, and that's why I didn't sleep the day before. I mean, the pieces arrived 2 days before the convention started. Anyway, so that I had to spend. Oh, and then when the convention did start, I didn't expect to sell that many plushies. I really, really sold a lot of plushies. Thank you guys so much. I am so thankful that you guys absolutely loved. Oh, it's not even showing. It's right there. So all the plushies here. It was so popular. Thank you guys so much. Then I spent the second night just stuffing everything and organizing everything because I had to organize it in a way that would work out with this amount of space. So for me to grab everything, do you see this? So this table thing slides out from this shelf over here, right? And then if anyone asks for a keychain, there's another box here that slides out. Hi, Digidon! That slides out to show me all the keychains. And then everything, like the little plushies, they're in bags stuffed down over here. So really, I just stuffed everything down there in a 2x2 space in a box. So yeah, I had to make sure I organized all those. And day 2, it was a Saturday. I went early because my friend might need help, but she didn't text me, so I assumed she was good. So I got a little bit of a break, a breather there. That was nice. And she told me after that she was chill. She texted me after and she said she was doing fine. And I just went over to help her go pee. So she could go pee because my section I can leave behind. I can't have someone manage it because it doesn't make any sense, but I can have somebody watch it because my sister and Drancelios were on the side. So I wouldn't be worried about stuff being stolen, but she didn't have a helper, so if she had to pee, she was gonna leave alone everything. All right, so back to my script. Let's see. Also, since the space was so limited, normally I would try to eat something behind the booth, but there was no behind the booth this time. Oh yeah, I was completely exposed because we're literally right here, right? So I opted with. Guess what? I just chose not to eat. I didn't eat during the convention. By the end of the convention, So 11 hours of sleep for 4 days and not eating during the convention, I lost 4 pounds. I know that doesn't sound like much, but I'm 120 pounds. So 4 pounds to me was quite a lot. But it kind of worked out because I did have a little bit of e-leg tum tum and I did have a bay cosplay after and it shows your belly. So it kind of worked out. Kind of worked out, I guess. Yeah, it was a lot. 4 pounds within those days. Losing 4 pounds within 4 days. But yeah, I was absolutely exhausted. All right, so that was my script for Annie Revel. Let's go over the photos. I have no script for this, so let's just see what we have here, shall we? Ah, yeah, there were Doro cosplayers, guys. They were so cute. There were two of them. There were two of them. So this was one of them, and then here's the other. They took a photo beside each other like this. It was absolutely amazing. I loved it. And I was confused because their masks are the same, right? When they when one of them came in one of the days and then the second one came in, I was like, "Welcome back." And he's like, "What? This is my first time here today." And I was like, "Oh, my bad. My bad." They didn't even plan this. They just so happened to have printed the exact same one wearing the exact like, head to toe white fit. They did not plan it. It just happened. And then they bought a Doro and I clipped it onto them. It was pretty funny.
That's quite big.
Big Doros. They
Impressive.
big Doros. All right, next photo. I I saw Bubba. This is the first cosplayer I saw in the morning, and it was so cool because he has a little what do you call it? I don't know what it is, but it makes sounds. Yeah, I just remember it made sounds. It was really cool. Bubba cosplay. I didn't even think about taking a photo. It was the very first person that I saw there, and he was the one that asked, "Did you want to take a photo?" A chainsaw. Yeah, 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 yeah. It had a motor sound effect. I don't think it turned. I don't think it was turning. It was just the sound. Yeah, the sound of the chainsaw. What? WTF, Lamavi? What you trying to say? What you trying to say? Anyway, let's go. Next photo. Yes, dude. Commander was there along with they were friends. They were friends, and they came back. Okay, they first came the first day they came, they were not cosplaying, and then they were like, "Oh my gosh, Nikkei! Oh, we're gonna cosplay tomorrow." And I said, "Oh, can I see?" They're like, "Yeah, we'll come show you." And she got the whole freaking gun. Or maybe she cosplayed the first day and then he wasn't cosplaying. But for sure he wasn't cosplaying the first day. I'm not 100% sure anymore if she cosplayed because she also cosplayed the next day too. Oh, my memory is all jumbled now. But anyway, they were so sweet. They came by both days. She had another cosplay, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so cool. Commander and Noir. Yeah, and then I was so tired. Every single cosplay I had something missing. So this was my first day cosplay. And, I was cosplaying as Naga. I forgot the tie. And then I also cosplayed as Noir. Yeah, we're both Noirs, but I forgot the fluff, the scarf. So, and then my last cosplay, you'll see later, I also forgot something. Oh, sad. Oh, and Helm! And she had the official plushie! I love that. I want one. I want one so that when I cosplay, I can have a commander too. That's genius to have the plushie. Plushie. But Annie Rebel definitely had a lot more Nikkei cosplayers than Animethon. I don't even remember if Animethon had any. I'm gonna wear Helm's dress when I meet you. Hot damn. Hot damn. Oh, I found another Wesker! Oh, Nixie! Oh, and he was actually happy that I noticed he was cosplaying as Wesker because Wesker, this outfit for Wesker, it just looks really cool, right? You would just assume that he was preppy. He looked really clean that day, kind of thing. So he was excited for somebody to have noticed that he was cosplaying as Wesker. I love it. Not me. I just wear your skin. Oh, what? Okay, Corey. Saucy. Oh, okay. Here's the next one. I saw a little bit of the image, and she was so freaking pretty. It's freaking Bay. And she had the whole fit. The whole fit. She was freaking pretty. And she had the pom-poms too. Isn't that crazy? You got the pom-poms too. She had the whole fit. Even has the color dye. Here. It's Kanik? Kaneki? Can you zoom in on what? Oh yeah! I don't want to zoom in. That's a little rude. So you can just look. Oh, sorry. Let me. I didn't realize I was covering her face. Did I cover the last person's face then? Oh no, I didn't. But yeah. I'm not gonna zoom in. It's her thigh. Yeah, but the tattoo. I'm pretty sure that's Kaneki. That's pretty cool. She's so sweet. She's so sweet. Alright. More cosplayers. White Bottle! This guy was actually here the other day. Oh, I don't even remember which his Twitch name was, but he was here a few days ago. But it was so clean. I kind of want this kind of cosplay because it just looks badass. Not gonna lie, it's badass. The tattoo though, yeah, her tattoos were sick. Welcome back, Zay. He even had the weapon and everything. Oh, I really like the worker blood cell. No, I don't know what it's called, but I think he was the only the white blood cell I saw in Annie Revel, and then I saw the little cute worker ones in Animethon. Oh man, I don't think I took a photo. But I like that cosplay too. It's so freaking cute. Platelets? Are they the platelets? Let me see. Platelet enemy. Yeah, the platelets! There were 3 of them and they were so cute. I would have loved if they all ended up in the same con because the interaction with the white blood cell and the platelets are so cute. It's so precious. So precious. But I don't think they were at the same con. If I were to cosplay at whatever convention I go to in the future, I think it will be Dante from Devil May Cry. Let me search that up real quick. Oh, that's badass. Oh, damn. Would you be topless, though, underneath? Because it looks like he has 2 versions. A version with no top in the middle and a top in the middle. All right, let's continue. Okay, this is the last day. She did cosplay as someone else. Look, she's so cute. Friggin' Brady! Oh, and I cosplayed as Moran, and yeah, I knew there was a blue thing here on her leggings. Oh, I didn't even pull it all the way, but I just cut up a blue shirt and I put it here. So a little backstory with this cosplay. So I was actually supposed to receive the Bay cosplay. Yeah, it's Brady. I was supposed to receive the Bay cosplay for this convention. That's why I didn't finish the Moran cosplay, but I was like, whatever. My big cosplay is coming anyway. And it arrived later than expected. So, that's why... Remember how I said I had 11 hours of sleep? One of the nights, the reason why I stayed up... So, the first night I stayed up because of the booth. The second night I stayed up because I had to stuff some pillows. The third night, I had to get this done because I had no cosplay. So I sewed this over and over again until it looked cleaner. And you know what? I think I did a pretty badass job here for this thing. Thank you. The sleeves were so cool. They were so cool. I felt pretty cool having them, and I'm glad it worked out well. I even had a tiny dinosaur, but I think it's covered. I can't show you the dinosaur. But yeah, she was so adorable. She even had the gun for it too. He was so cute. But yeah, they came by every time. Oh, and they have a Nikkei Japan group, I guess. Because they asked me, can we share the photos there? And I said, oh, that's so sweet. By all means, go ahead. Kind of thing. But yeah, it was pretty cool. The commander is great. Yeah! I kind of want to have a commander cosplay just because it looks pretty clean. You know? But at the same time, for conventions, that must be really, really hot. That's a lot of layers. Because I was already heating up with a sweater on. It's pretty harsh. Because convention, it gets cold, it gets hot over and over again. I'd wear it. I mean, you don't feel heat, so it's perfect for you. Alright, so 10 days. They were so great. They were all so nice. And look who he has in his pocket. And I took a photo. He wanted to keep it safe, right? He wanted to keep the sticker safe, and he didn't know where to put it. And I saw that he had a pocket there, and she fits so perfectly. She's so cute, right? Ah, the attendees were all so nice. They were so freaking nice. What can I say? They made my days. I was so fried, but they gave me energy, to be honest. All right, next. So this one, I got a story to tell for this one. So I met him in OdaFest. And somebody before him dared to purchase the Noir, or was it the Blanc? I don't remember which one anymore. But anyway, purchased one of them. Oh, I think they purchased Blanc without Noir. They purchased Blanc without Noir, and that was my last one. So when he came over, he wanted both, of course, because they're sisters, as most people would. But it was my last Noir. But thankfully, he ended up going to Annie Revel as well, and he got the other sister. And I just thought it was so cute. Having had, what you call it? Most sane people, yes. Yes! Actually, though, every single time somebody bought a Blanc or a Noir Doral, they bought the other one. Every single time except that one, which was the very, very last one. Crazy. The very last. So the last person ended up with only one of the sisters. 2. Not should be commended, for sure. I only have the energy to cosplay something like Takumi from Initial D. And just put on jeans and a shirt. That's perfectly fine too. Yeah, happy story. It was a reunion. Yay! And then this is my last photo, I think. Yeah, I didn't take too many photos in Annie. Oh, I already talked about why it was fast paced. I was in the vendor's alley. People just wanted to go kind of thing. Not chit chat as much. But anyway, I met this guy. He's been in chat. I don't know if he wants to be, if I'm allowed to say his name, so I won't tell him. Oh no, was he in chat? No, I talked to him on Instagram. I don't know if I'm allowed to say his name, so I won't say his name. But he can just comment on the video after to say his name if he wants to. Anyway, he has this whole collection. Do you see this? These are all autographed. Yes, it's the cards. They're all autographed. Every single one of them. Holy heck, yeah. Holy heck is freaking right. It's crazy. And they are all rated. They're all official. And I was like, how? How in the world do you get that? And then he told me, oh, you can get a guarantee. I was like, no, you can't. It's gacha. What do you mean you can get a guarantee? He said, well, you can get a guarantee if you pay for a case. I'm like, okay, so how much is the case? $2,000. And I was like, what? What did you just say? What? And I think he said he gets 3 or 2, I don't remember, per case. So you can imagine how expensive this set is. And on top of that, he told me, well, if you want some, I still have 2 cases I have yet to open. And I'm like, I don't have $2,000 to do that. It's just, oh my god, it's such a beautiful collection. He was kind enough to just stay there while I placed it I presented in a way that I wanted to. He stayed the entire time while I organized it to take a photo. Yeah, you see some thousands of dollars since you can't guarantee which one you get. Yeah, exactly. I think that's why he bought multiple, because he wasn't sure which one he was gonna get, and then I guess he got the ones he wanted. That's why he stopped, because he had two more packs he hadn't opened. All gacha is guaranteed. You have to spend the money to put till you get it. Yeah, by all means, right? You guarantee will get it eventually after spending lots and lots and lots of money. All right. So that was it for Annie Revel. Like I said, Annie Revel kind of just zoom by with little sleep. So what can I do? So going over it, I took one break to pee for one of the days, and I did the same the next day. But then one day I realized I really couldn't handle it anymore. It was the very last day. I had to go behind my Dancelio's and my sister's booth, and I just took a nap. I couldn't. I took like a 5 second nap. I don't know, 5 minute break or something. I was so exhausted. I couldn't handle it anymore, and I caved and went to get coffee too. And because you guys know I'm a VTuber, I try not to remove my mask at all. But thankfully, in Annie Revel, there's this one section with the tables beside the coffee place that doesn't have people there. I just, I just, I just sat there and drank coffee, and that's my story. We're moving on now. Two, Animethon Edmonton. Do you see this? This was pretty cool. There was a whole escalator. I don't know if I have photos of the escalators, but we'll find out. Oh, I don't think I put it there. But there was an escalator, and then you get to see the welcome sign. Big board. Animethon looked pretty fancy. I really, really, really like the place. The escalators, yes. Oh, and their elevator wasn't even an elevator. It was like an skater. Yes, I said skater. So basically, how it is all right, all right. So the escalators are going down like this, right? Oops. Right? So that's people going up and down, right? And the escalator. Yeah, I just made that up. Let's go. It goes like this. And it goes down, up and up, I guess. But you know what I mean? You're over here in a box that goes up and slides diagonally down. Is that escalator? Escalator, baby. But yeah, it was really cool. I don't know if I took a photo, so we'll see. Anyway, so this was the very first oh yeah, let me go to my script. This was the very first convention. I had to fly to that because I flew to another convention that I needed to fill up the entire table for. And since I used 3 suitcases for Otafest, I thought I must need at least 3 large check-in suitcases for this too. Now the problem is, if you go on a flight, they will allow you to pay for more check-in bags, but you have a limit of 2, which meant I had to have a helper, at least for the suitcase allowance. I had to. So as I was stressing about this, trying to figure this out, my mom, coincidentally, while I was stressing at her place, she checked her schedule and she was free those days, which was very, very, very rare because she normally works weekends. And I don't think she's had a weekend off for months and months now. Anyway, so I'm sorry, I'm looking at my script. And then as I was stressing out on the funds because I had to book this flight way before any Revel even happened. So I kind of already spent quite a lot. I'll go over the numbers later, but I spent quite a lot. So I was just thinking, do I really, really want to spend a whole another few $100s for another ticket just for another suitcase to go to the convention, right? Well, I was thinking about that because I gotta crunch the numbers to make sure if it's worth it or not, right? So, like, let's say I spend an extra $600. If I spend an extra $600, is it really worth to spend an extra $600 to make $200? No, maybe it's better to just sell out of the stuff because at the end of the day, you're at a loss, right? But since this was gonna be pretty much a vacation for my mom, because I just need the suitcase thing, she can do whatever she wants to do at Edmonton and I was stressing about it with my brother around, my freaking amazing brother was all like, I'll pay for it. And so I was like, what? Actually, he didn't even say I'll pay for it. He literally just he just did it. He just e-transferred me. And so yeah, that was really, 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 really nice of him. So freaking nice. But yeah, so that was all dealt with. And it was really, really a lot of stress off my shoulders because honestly, at that point, I had spent a lot. And I will go over the numbers. And I think you guys will agree. I spent a lot. Anyway, So I let my mom plan out what she was gonna do, right? Because she was gonna do her own trip vacation kind of thing, away from work, away from the stress and stuff. So I asked her, "Hey, what are you gonna do, by the way, right?" And then she's like, "Oh, I plan to go to the lake." I said, "What lake?" "Oh, I plan to go to Banff." So you Alberta people, Albertans, you would know. Yes, Banff is beautiful. Banff is near what? Calgary, not Edmonton, okay? She thought she could just bus an hour to get to Banff. Yes, it's a Calgary. So it's just like, Mom, that's the wrong place. I told you where we were going. I told you we're going to Edmonton. And she planned to go to freaking Banff because she thought Calgary. I don't know why she assumed it'd be Calgary, but it wasn't. So she said, "Oh, so I can't just bus an hour there, an hour back?" No, it's a 6 hour bus ride. Yeah, mistakes were made. Yeah. So I just asked her, did you want well, I asked prior if she wanted to go see the convention because I had the ticket, right? So the table comes with two tickets. So I asked her beforehand because I had to tell the convention who was gonna go with me. So just in case, I asked, "Did you want to possibly go to the convention?" And she said, "Yeah." So I already prepped that the ticket would allow her to go in, thankfully, because then she had nothing to do. She had nothing to do, so I asked her, "Do you want to go? Do you just want to do the convention thing?" And she said, "Yeah." And it was her very first convention, and let me tell you, she was so freaking cute. She was so cute. Poor Mama Fruit. Yeah. Yeah, but she'll experience Banff another day. She actually really enjoyed the convention. It was her very, very first convention. Yeah, to drive, and we didn't have a car, so she would have the bus. She said 350. So if she bused the same day, she'd probably have only a few hours there, and she'd be really tired because the bus ride is not the comfiest. All right, let me drink some water and continue. Okay, so as I said, this was my mom's very first convention, and she was in awe at all the cosplayers. She was so cute. She said, "Wow, maybe in the future we would all be walking around like this. Like everybody's so flashy with all their different hairs and all their different costume. It'd be so cool." Oh, mom, that's adorable. But do you not? These costumes are uncomfortable. Okay, there's a reason why we wear what we wear. Most clothes are made to be worn kind of comfier. Some cosplay. Because people are walking around with weapons too, right? Ginormous weapons, and she thought it was so cool. Yes, yes. So speaking of my mom cosplaying, she said she actually saw a really, really cool cosplay. Uh, what was his name? Oh, let me try to find it real quick. It was from an anime that had gangs. Oh, Tokyo Revengers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This guy. So she saw someone cosplaying as this guy. Yeah, like said that. Anyway, she saw someone pass by wearing this cosplay, the one on the left. This guy. And she was like, "Oh, I can work that one. Next time, can you get me that cosplay?" Oh, she was so cute. She said, "I can work it. I can work it. Can you have that cosplay ready for me?" Yeah, it was so cool. Yeah, I think she could pull it off too. She could. And you could be Vaji, and it would be cool to see you guys side by side because I think the heights are like that too. Anywho, where are we? Let me check my script. Okay, so like I said before, my booth was meant to be handled solely by me. you have, or somebody else who knows all the characters, so maybe Locke, right? Basically, you cannot. Oh, even if it was Locke, it was such a mess. It was organized in a way that I understood, and I could not delegate. It was too hard to delegate it. So she couldn't really help. Yes, you are Locke. She couldn't really help because I had done Oda Fest in a way that it was really organized, easy for my helper to help. But because I prioritized organization, it got pretty heavy. The materials to organize all the keychains were heavy, and I wanted to veto that because I wanted to bring as many merch as possible. So I organized everything in baggies instead of my organized suitcase tool organizer thing. So yeah, it was a mess. So what did my mom do? She went around eating everything. And it was pretty cute because there were pancakes there that was really, really good. And she kept going back. She kept going back. And there was another booth with another mom there. And they bumped into each other and they were all like, "Oh, you're having that one? I'm having this one too. What flavor did you get? I already had it this many times," and all that stuff. They were just bonding on over food, and they both had their daughters there. And the other mom was trying to feed her daughter, and her daughter was getting kind of not really annoyed, but it's just like, "Mom, you're embarrassing me," kind of thing. You know what I mean? Not really that embarrassing, but when she's trying to work, basically the daughter's trying to work and the mom kept trying to feed her. And I thought it was really adorable. And the mom was looking at me because I was cosplaying, right? She was like, "Oh my gosh, you look so nice, and you get it from your mom. Clearly, I can see it." And my mom was like, "Yeah, of course." It was nice. So a mom to mom experience there. All right, so let's move on to the photos, shall we? Oh, my script still has a little bit more, but I think I'll go over that once you get to see who I'm talking about. Yeah, they were proud moms. It was sweet. I should have gone to go see her booth, the other person's booth, but again, Anime Revel and Animethon, I barely left my booth. I didn't even get to go shopping for Animethon until the morning of the setup of the last day. I ran through the whole thing, and it's so big. It took me an hour just to look through everything, and every half of the stalls were closed because it's early in the morning and they're not there. So I only got to see half of the stuff, and it still took me an hour. It's crazy. Anyway, I still found some stuff to bring home. All right, so here was my stall, and I was so proud of it. After seven conventions, this was my finale, basically. So magnificent. Thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, Moon. All right, so let me show off a little. So I had my plushies up here. Oh, story about these plushies. This last one, it was my very last one, and somebody wanted it, and I couldn't reach it. And my kind neighbor over here, I unfortunately didn't get her name. I got her friend's Instagram, but I didn't know her Instagram because they weren't showing it. But she helped me grab it because she's much taller than me. Absolutely so kind. I love the artist community. So far, I've pretty much met a lot of really, really, really nice people. It's been really fun. How did you get those metal bars so specifically custom? Oh, well, you see, I have this amazing husband at home, yeah, with all these tools. But yeah, we cut up all these. I think I went over it one other stream, but let me go get you the photo of what they used to look like or what they were supposed to look like. So, this grid, basically before I had to use, let me just grab it real quick so we can compare. Compare my very not my very first, is it? convention mock-ups. I believe it was, yeah, Gambate. Oh, it was not Gambate. It was older than that. Odafest? Yeah, Odafest. Odafest. Okay, so back then I had this, right? Which worked great with presentation. This is the back of the booth. Let me see if I can get the front of the booth. Hmm. I don't know. Anyway, I think you get the idea. Bite. Oh, here. All right. This was before. So my issues with it was one. Oh, let me just talk about the framework first. The reason why we had to buy this thing. So we had to purchase these guys and then cut it up so that we could have a flat surface to work with. So I had to cut off this thing, this thing, this thing, and keep the back grid there. Because I had a setup. I have so many images because every single convention was just different, right? I had this set up. I had this set up with the shelf still intact, and it just made everything underneath really dark. I put lights there, but it's still really dark. So we had to cut off this shelf so the light would still enter. Let the light enter. Right? And then this, the reason why I switched to that shelf was because these grid things, as nice as they are, because it looks pretty presentable, right? They couldn't handle, well, they may be able to handle the weight of the plushie if I made them into shelves, but I didn't want shelves. And also, I was already feeling like sometimes it felt too flimsy, so I really wanted something structurally sound because this setup was shorter than the new one by about a foot and a half, I think. I couldn't go taller. Maybe I could, but the thing is, the reason why I wanted to go taller is because I don't want this kind of thing to ever happen again. You see, this is the person behind me stall. It looks fine for them because the posters is what show, but on my side, people are gonna see all their tape and everything, and it just looks cleaner if I'm able to hide all that. So, yeah, that's why I wanted height, and at the same time, it's easier to go higher than wider because you can't go wider than they allow you to. So I really wanted something that's structurally sound so I can go really high and be able to still carry the plushies because I needed the plushies high up for people to see because I don't think it's as easy. It won't move as easily if it's down on the table thing that they have to see it there. But if it's above, they can see it from afar and be like, "Oh my god, it's a Doro." Because it's not really something common to find at a convention, I don't think, plushies versus posters. So I feel like they would assume I have prints. So when they come closer, there will be prints because they assume there will be prints. But they wouldn't assume I have plushies. So I wanted to showcase that. I really wanted to showcase the plushies. Anyway, I digress. We're talking about the setup. I think I went over all of it, right? Here's a photo of Fruit Mommy doing my stall. Look at that. Look at that. Look at her. Hard at work. Hard at work. Sounds like the plushies were a hit. Oh, they were. Oh, they were. They were. Like I said, Annie Rebel, I had to stuff so many plushies before the next day because so many sold. And the mini ones, the mini Doros sold out. The mini small Doro keychains sold out. But that one sold out at a different con. And then the mini 20 centimeter plushies sold out. And the 30 centimeter one, I only had a few left. Very, very few. Okay. So, let's move on. Really, really good. Yeah. Really good. This time it's food time. All right, this is a restaurant near the convention, and it was so freaking good. We kept going back. It's a family owned. Man, why didn't I get the name? But it's a Vietnamese restaurant near the convention hall. So if you ever are there, it's a bar too. It's a bar. That's liquor. The place was so clean. It was really cool. They had everything. Oh, that's my drink. Mango smoothie. Those ones were filled, but yeah, yeah, with the pillows. Well, the first batch still had the freaking expensive raw cotton stuff, and then the next batches were the pillows, which was also very soft, but the raw cotton was so expensive. Looks like a screwdriver? No, it's a mango smoothie. Yeah, they just put it in fancy glasses. But yeah, this place looked really pretty. Really pretty. And this was the food. It was so freaking delicious, dude. It was so good. Okay, and then we went to, my mom wanted to try something new. I wanted to keep going to the same restaurant, but she said, try something different, right? So we went to this fancy hotel, again, near the convention. And let me tell you, this place was so freaking expensive. This, what you're looking at right now, was $55. No. She didn't pick it. She didn't pick it. We just chose something that was open early, and there wasn't a lot that was nearby. So this was early in the morning. This was $55. $55. And it was just, I don't know what is it, a blueberry smoothie in a bowl. This thing was so sour. So sour. That's $12 at Denny's, right? Hi, Phoebe. Welcome in, Raiders. Sorry, I'm going over a story time right now. So I'll be going over the story time right now. I can't say hello as much. But welcome in, Raiders. Welcome. Yeah, but this was $55. This bread was dry as fuck. This thing was sour as fuck. This sausage was also dry as fuck. It was awful. $55 plus tip. So, yeah, it was bad. It was really, really bad. And it was so expensive. And she was upset about it because everything else tasted so good so far. And yeah. But the day before, oh, sorry, I didn't cover her face. Yeah. Okay. The day before, so what you call it? We had the another restaurant, and it was good. It was good. It was very simple. It was just a pancake and eggs, and it was delicious. Very delicious. Way cheaper too. I think this was, I don't know, $15. Something like that. If not, then 20, but not 55. Reminds me of when I went to Canada over Christmas. Prices were insane. Oh, but then Canadian dollar is lower than America. Hello, North Sail. Hello. Welcome. But also, this place had really pretty flowers. Real flowers on display. So I took a photo because it was pretty. More food? Oh yeah, this was our last meal there. It was very simple. Simple bureki at the airport. I actually really liked it. I like it more than IHOP. Airport pancakes were not as crazy sweet as the IHOP ones. IHOP's freaking sugary as heck. Oh! Wow, this is bad order. But anyway, this was at the Animethon leading down. No, it was not dry pancakes. It was good pancakes. But leading down to the convention, they had plants and it kind of looked like a greenhouse. I thought that was really pretty. Pretty cool. Oh, somebody had an official t-shirt from what do you call it? LA? Anime Expo. Anime Expo. It was so cool, right? I wish I could have gone to Anime Expo. Maybe one day, but goddamn, the Nikkei cosplays were so good. And look at this merch. It's so cool. And you chose to take the stairs? Well, I mean, I was beside the escalator, I'm pretty sure. I just took a photo of the stairs. Oh, so this was my neighbor. So I didn't really talk to anyone that much other than the person behind me. I was gonna say his name, but I forgot to ask if I'm allowed to say his name, but I'll give you his where's his business card? I don't have it. Fudge me. Did I really? I took a photo! Dang it. Aww. Let me see if I can find him. Artist list. But he did what are you clipping? You're clipping that I didn't find his thing. Oh, okay, I think I can. Is there a map?
Ooh, that's kind of small. Yikes.
Okay, why would you say that? But anyway, he sculpted this. Isn't that so cool? He sculpted this. This is the one that I was thinking Edmonton, Edmund would be because he likes reptiles. But yeah, he sculpted this. It's freaking metal. Isn't that so cool? Okay, let's see if I can see. Oh, I can't find his name. I remember his real name, but I don't remember. I don't remember his tag. And I swear I took a photo. So let me just. No! I thought his pass would say it. Okay, let me just quickly check my phone, see if I have it there. 'Cause if I didn't transfer it, it must be because I have it on this phone. I'm a mess. Next time, though, I really need to bring a notepad. Especially with a lot of people introducing themselves. It's so much easier for me to remember their names after I write it down over just trying to remember it as is. Bam, 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 bam. Oh. Aww. I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it. Watch me, dude. Why don't they have the map thing? Exhibitions. Oh, there, exhibition map. Oh, yes. See, I got this. I got this. Now let's stalk them. All right, all right. So I got the exhibitor hall. All right. So I was over here. I'm investigating. I was over here, meaning he's this one. So he would be C17. Let me see who C17 is. Oops. Detective Conan would be proud of my investigation skills right now. Is it? C17. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, yes, I found him. Because I remember he told me he was on Etsy. I found him, guys. Look at me go. There we go. There we are. The armored artist. Right? And so, why is it armored? Because he makes these. And they're chainmail, right? They're chainmail bracelets. So every single day, his chainmail bracelets matched his t-shirt. And I thought that was pretty dope. My mom loved it. She bought, I think, 3 from him. Love it, love it. Super cool guy. Oh, while I'm at it, let me go search who's beside me for the other. So the ones beside... Actually, I think I might have a photo. So let's just proceed with my storytelling. As you can see, totally organized here. All right, where are we at? Oh, this person, her brother was so sweet. Her brother was talking to me earlier before I got this photo. Her brother was walking around and we were just chatting and he said, my sister's over there. Maybe if you want to art trade, you should go on over because she's really nice. And I thought, oh, that's so sweet of you to be promoting your sister. And she was so sweet. She was so sweet. I went over there and yeah, she was down to art trade. And she was down before she even saw my stuff. And I thought that was really nice of you because how would you know if my stuff is even worth your stuff, you know? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's so cute. It's a little Mau Mau keychain. It's for lock, but I have a goodie bag of stuff from that convention. I haven't been able to find it. I'll find it eventually, but at least I have a photo of it. Mau Mau keychain. So cute. And that another person I met as I was walking around doing my shopping thing. See, okay, I go through, I take these photos, making sure I do it in front of their stall so I can show you guys the art that they do. But clearly, I didn't focus on the art here. Yeah, but go check them out. I like her business card though. So look at this. Thumb here, lol. That's creative. I've never seen that before. You can always give them 1 frug. No, I am not giving away a frug. Frug. And then like I said, I only really talked to the person behind me. I did not really communicate with the people beside me, except when she helped me remove a plushie off the thing. And the other person said hello to me at the very, very end of the convention. And she gave me a sticker of her OC. And I took a photo thinking, yes, your tag is here. But now I'm looking at the image like, yeah, I did great. Yep, I did great taking a photo of their tag. Yeah, because I can totally read this. So let me just search up what her name is. So she's B20. B20. All right, so her name is Heloriel. Someday Fruit will learn to focus. Hey, at least she's clear, right? At least I didn't blur her out. And I found a name. I found her name after. Okay, so this is Heloriel. Heloriel. All right. And I think I have the person on the on the other side. Where is the other side? Oh, this is the other side. The other side. I wanted to take a photo of their stuff. I wanted to look at their stuff beforehand, but they were there. They weren't there when I came in earlier to go shopping. So I didn't really get a chance to really look. But this was B16. Oh, why am I searching it? It's right there, guys. It's Sugita Studios. This one's not blurred. But she does keycaps. Hand makes them. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So we move on to more people. Those were the artists I met. So, oh, another artist I met. I thought there was gonna be people now. I mean, artists are people. Yes, artists are people too. But anyway, he came by, right? Right? His art is so good. And he did an art trade with me. So he got the Viper one and he gave me this. It was his only Nikkei art, but it's Sakura and she's so cute. This is the artist. I came prepared this time. There's the artist. I say I came prepared, but I did this a minute or so before I started this video. But yeah. Right there. Cool guy, cool guy. This is what he got. Viper! Oh yeah! This was all on Instagram. People were sharing what they got. And I felt so honored. There was one picture of somebody squishing the Doro, but I forgot to take a photo. It's gone now, sadly. So there was that. And then... Oh, this person, I met him in another convention, and it's so sweet when people come by and say hello again. Hello again, the next convention that they see me at, and yeah, so freaking sweet. So freaking sweet. Seriously, convention stuff will have been so fun because the people are so nice. I really, really like to do that tagging. Yeah, the tagging, showing them who it is. Oh, like this, right? I love that. I love that. I love that people do that. So I can see where it's at. Even I should have taken a photo of Death's thing because it was so funny. He put it on a bike. Let me see if I have the photo. Do I have the photo somewhere? Did he show us on Discord? Oh, did he? Let me scroll up. Because it wouldn't have been that long ago. But I love seeing what people end up doing with the Doro. It's so funny. So funny. Oh yeah, he did show us a okay, so let me show you Death's plushie location. He posted this on Instagram story saying something like oh wait, no. He said it in Discord. She will be the first Dory to reach 300 km per hour. Cuz that's his bike. It looks so funny. But then the wildlife of this Doro was short-lived because shortly after it was claimed by Kitty. It's kitties now. And we don't mess with cats. Cats rule the world. Alright. So people. Doros. This person came by each time to show me his Doro collection. Because apparently he was at another convention I was at. He saw my Doro plushies and he was sad because he had just ordered some Doro plushies to arrive. So he came by to show me his Doro plushie too. And then he showed me his Doro keychains. I didn't take a photo of the Doro plushie, I guess. But the keychains were so funny, so I took a photo. Look at that. The freaking Doro with the soda pop. Now it's the cat's property, pretty much. But not the good ones. Should have bought. I actually don't remember if he bought my plushies. I don't remember. I just remember being hyped that he had these. It's so funny. The Karai Doro. I don't even get it. Why did she end up with tangerines? I don't know. We don't question Doro. And then this person, this is what I need to do. I should have a convention notebook to put all my memories in so that I can remember, because I do these conventions with no sleep at all and I forget so many things. And he had this notebook and he had me sign it so that he could just, for memory's sake, right? People you meet, you get them to draw or write something in their journal, and I want to do that. And I thought this book was so cool. It's yellow. I'm biased. I like yellow. Oh, and the cosplayers! More cosplayers! Doro! And Sakura! Sakura? God, I keep saying Sakura for her. Scarlet. Scarlet. Black Shadow? Black Shadow? Dark Shadow? Something? Sorry, something Shadow? I forget. I think it's Black Shadow, right? My brain. Yeah. Scarlet Black Shadow. Should have trusted myself. Yes. Pretty cool. Pretty cool cosplay. And she got a Doro! Doro! And she got a Doro keychain too. All the Doros. Like a con diary, exactly. A con diary. Sounds like a heist. True. And then I had to go borrow this person because she had all the freaking Iron Mouse merch. All of it. Do you see this? She got the bag, she got keychains, she got the pants, she got the sweater, and yeah, the bag is so cute. And she was obsessed. She was telling me the story. Did she also pre-order the keychain? I mean, not keychain. The earrings. The earrings for the I'm not the cosplay. Earrings for her collection, but apparently it got canceled with all the drama that's going on. She doesn't know if she's gonna get it. She's probably not, is what she said. But yeah, I just thought it was epic. She had all the Iron Mouse stuff, all of it. Yeah, darn. She ended up wearing, I believe, like Hello Kitty earrings or something. Her look, complete. Oh, and there was a Dorothy. Kodev. She was so cute. Such an adorable Dorothy. And she bought Adoro. She tagged me in her story, and I didn't see. I missed the story, but she was kind enough to show me the photo afterwards. Very sweet, very sweet. I have her tag somewhere. Oh no. I went to go find her tag. What? Where is it? Let me go get her tag, because she's a cosplayer. So let me share her Instagram tag. Ah, yes. I said I wrote a whole essay for this, and yet I'm still over here searching stuff up. Let's see. She sent me this photo, so I have to have her thing here somewhere. Ah, here she is. Her name is Mayuki. Oh, I didn't even follow her yet. There we go. Follow. Oh, her profile picture is Doro too. Doro galore. Mayuki. It was meant to be. I would have been disappointed if not. If no plushie? No Doro? Alright, let's move on. Look at this cosplay. It was so freaking cool. I had to take a photo, but it was also very creepy. Very creepy. But it's so cool. It's so cool. Right? I love cosplayers. They just make my day. Just seeing them parade around pretty much. Pretty much it's like seeing a parade in front of you as you are manning your booth. Super cool. Oh yes! Yu-Gi-Oh, guys! Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh man, I should have put it over. Okay. Let me show you this again later because there's more Yu-Gi-Oh stuff after. Kaiba. It was so cool. Oh yes, this guy. Okay, he gave me his Instagram too. What? Apparently, I had it on the other phone. It's live in Daniel. I'm gonna search it up real quick. A bot. Isn't that epic? This is from the zombie thing. I did not expect to see a cosplay of this. Cause I don't know. I didn't ever see a cosplay from that anime for any of the cons. Then lo and behold, he walks by and I was like, I love that character. Why do I love that character? Because the voice actor for the Japanese one voice acted a very old anime I used to watch back in the day, and it's just pure nostalgia to me. He's so good. Though the English voice actor did an amazing job too. So either you watch it in English or Japanese, both of the voice actors for him, so good. Really carries the comedy aspect of it, honestly. And then I have more Nikkei cosplays. Look at her! She's so cute! Ruby! Ruby! And look at me. I got it ready this time. I have her Instagram. Oh, there. I have her Instagram. Right? Ruby's so cute. And then I also have Soda! Super, super cute. And I have this ready. Oh, yeah. Someone. Yeah, she even did the little pose for me. So cute. So cute. But I think that was it for the cosplays in Animethon for that's Nikkei. Well, 4. So Annie Rebel had more. More. Oh, I saw some Valorant cosplayers. They were a vibe. He was telling me how these characters in Valorant were lesbians, and it was like, they're lesbians and we're gay! And I love it. I love it. And they did really well. Look at that. La boom. I love their energy. I loved it. I think that was the only Valorant cosplay I took a photo of. I don't know if there was more. But that's so cute. Couple cosplay. Couple cosplay. Oh, and this was an OC, and she had this light up. Isn't that cool? Cosplayers go all out. I freaking love it. I freaking love it. And I think this is their friend, but they're photobombing and they also look great. So I don't mind it. I love the photobomb. Hunting fish with the light. Follow the light. Are you thinking of Nemo? Because that's instantly what I think of when I see this kind of fish. Nemo. I think I only have a few more cosplays. Oh yes, yes, this cosplay is so freaking pretty. It's from Apothecary Diaries, right? That's the title. It's for one of the episodes. The guy was dressed up as the dancing fairy. And look at this. This. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys yet. I had my Moran cosplay and I made a mess. Locke has the photo. That's why I don't have the photo here. It was in his phone. But I turned our freaking bathtub blue trying to make the sock blue. And then by dyeing it. And then this cosplayer taught me how to paint it so clean and neat. You mix acrylic paint with fabric softener. I never thought about that. I just used dye and it did not work very well. And after one wash, it was destroyed. So I was only able to wear the cosplay once. I don't even know. I don't even have a photo of it. Yeah, cosplay tips. Because this looks so nice, right? So next time I know. Acrylic and fabric softener. Oh, yes! And this is from... what's the name? You know, the really popular one right now. You guys know, come on. Fill in the blank for me. The one with the aliens. Dan Dan. Oh, Dan Dan. Yes. I was gonna sing the opening and then I realized the opening is the freaking title. What is wrong with me? She was really cool. And then I didn't expect this cigarette. She smoked it. And I was like, what the hell? You brought a cigarette in here? No, it's a prop. Apparently it's a prop. So she started laughing because I was so shocked. I was so shocked that she was suddenly smoking in front of me. And I thought it was cute that I accidentally took a photo of her laughing too because of that. Oh, and then I got another calling card. Remember my very first convention? I got a calling card. I got another one. Which reminds me, someone I met from Harumatsuri, I'm pretty sure I saw them here too, but they didn't drop by my stall. I saw them on the side. And it was unfortunate I didn't get to talk to them again because they were really nice people. They had the... All I remember is they were wearing the same cosplay again with the white hair, and they had... What do you call it? What do you call the thing, the band that goes over your shirt and then it gets attached to your pants? That's all I remember. So pretend this is a t-shirt, right? And then you have these things. What's that called? They had white hair wig and they had something like that. Suspenders! Thank you! Yeah, that's all I remember. They were really nice people. I wish I could have said hi to them, but I couldn't just be like, let me just leave my booth and go chase them down. Well, it's okay. They probably were busy. Oh! And she actually had the wig and her cat. Isn't that amazing? But she just wanted to be more comfortable this last day, I think. That's why she didn't wear the wig. But look at her cat. So freaking funny. With the scarf and everything. She said she couldn't find the scarf, so she ended up buying, I think, a reflective thing? Yeah, theme! So funny. So funny. Attendees really make the convention so much fun. Alright, so we're back to the Yu-Gi-Oh! I put it here on the end because... Well, let's admire it for a second. Look at the wigs. That's a lot of effort, man. They even have the little crimping thing. That's a lot of effort. And then he was actually here earlier today. But guess who else dropped by? And voila! It's freaking... Oh, the horse thing. I forgot his name again. Pegasus! Yes! Pegasus! So freaking cool! And I wish they dropped by the same day, and I wish they saw each other, because both their cosplays were so good. But they cosplayed it at on different days, sadly. So they weren't able to take a photo together. But you know what? At least we can see them together here. There we go. Ta-da! It's like they took a photo together, right? And it was so perfect. I think he was really tall too. And Pegasus is really tall. Yeah, it was really fun. So a little bit of a story about this guy. He's so nice. He actually found my video. He was the first person to tell me he found me on YouTube first before he found me at a convention. Because there was a few people who met me on Twitch first, which makes a lot of sense because I've been on Twitch a long time. But the YouTube, I've just been doing the story things or the live streams, and I probably have maybe just a handful of people watch that. So I was really surprised when somebody approached me and said, I watched your YouTube video. And it was because it was Gambate. Him and his wife were looking for something to do, I guess their days off, and they went to Gambate and they checked out a Gambate video to see what I guess other people were doing during that convention. And yeah, after seeing that video, they decided to go to this convention too, and he came by to say hello. Joseph. Yeah, that really took me by surprise when he called Joey Joseph. But yeah, it's been really, really fun. And he came by to say hello near the end too, the very last con. So I'm glad I didn't miss him. At pretty much complete. Oh yeah, and when we were heading home, there was a double rainbow. It's kind of light, but there's another rainbow there. Double rainbow. It was so clear. You can see it end to end, but apparently I didn't take a photo of the other end. But yeah, trust my word for it. You can see it end to end. Really clear. All right, so that completes it. My little photo collection. Next year, I want to make it easier for people to take a photo to say hello for these little what happened at the convention kind of thing. But as you can see, right now I'm pretty scuff. So let me go back to my script to make sure I didn't miss out on anything I wanted to say. Okay, I said people at the convention, it was exciting getting to see people I last saw at Otofest and Annie Revo too. People dropped by. So the person who had showed me that they got the Otofest Doro, they came by to say hello in Annie Revo. And then they came by again to say hello in Animethon because he had, what do you call it? He had volunteered at Animethon and Otafest. Freaking dope seeing people all over again. And it kind of felt like a bittersweet graduation thing, finishing all the conventions, because it was kind of nice seeing everybody so often. There were some people that I saw every day. Every day. There was these three guys. There were these three guys that came by to see the cosplay I wore for each of the day, because they were telling me there weren't that many Nikkei cosplays. But yeah, Animethon, there weren't that many Nikkei cosplays. And if they're watching this video, please share me the photos, because I forgot to take photos. I forgot. I forgot. But I don't know if they're gonna watch this video. If they do find this video, please show it to me. But yeah, it was really, really, really fun to see everybody daily. And the last day, I don't know, I just had this bittersweet feeling that, oh yeah, it's been completed, and I knew it was gonna be my last convention, and I just felt sad that I wouldn't see all these people again. Okay, let me see my notes again. It's been such a, yeah, I wrote on my notes saying it was like seeing classmates daily, because there were multiple people, similar faces. Because you guys know I've been working as full-time artist for years now, and I just pretty much am at home all the time for that. So there's no coworkers that I see on a daily basis. There's no similar familiar faces that I would see every day kind of thing. And this was as close as I would get to that. Daily going to the convention, seeing the same faces, seeing the same artists beside me, seeing the same convention goers too. And I don't know, it was really nice. I feel I want to do a convention diary now. Oh, yeah, you should, so we can see. Because it's nice seeing your haul, but it would be nicer to see the stories too, to remember who I met. Exactly! That's what I need to do. Next time I need to bring a notebook so that people can write down stuff and I can write down stuff to remember everything. It's a tradition now. I think you're doing really well in socializing part. Yeah, I was surprised too. So I'll go over all that in my 1 year thing. So after I finish off this Animethon stuff, I'll talk about this, the how I felt. Anyway, so my memory is not the best, so I sure hope I remember these people next year. I took a photo of some people, but I wish I was able to take more photos for the memories. I really do. I really wish that I took way more photos, but also it's not always comfortable for people, right? If I just say like, "Hey, can I take a photo of you?" It's like, please. So I wanna set up a thing where they can easily just click the tablet, take a photo if they want to, kind of like a photo booth for the memories, and to be on the little slideshow thing like this. So I don't have to awkwardly be like, can I take a photo of you? Because it makes sense for me to ask people if I can take a photo when they're cosplaying. But some people, they're not cosplaying, but I want to remember them. Because my memory is not the greatest. It's really not. But it'd be nice to remember them, you know? Like a yearbook. They could even tell me not to post it on the YouTube video. I'm completely chill with that. Just for me to remember would be really nice. Like a yearbook. All right, so the artist, oh, I already mentioned this, that I didn't really get to talk to them very much. It was mainly because the artists that I was beside, they all had a friend they were with, and when that happens, there's no room to really interrupt and talk to them because they're constantly talking to each other. That's what I found after doing 7 conventions, which is completely fine. But that's just the reason why I didn't really talk too much to them that much. But the person behind me, he also had his friend there, but there were moments where he'd be alone, and that's when he would talk. He was really, really nice. Remember the person that I showed you guys that did the chainmail? Super nice guy. All right, so that concludes Animethon. Now, it is time. I guess I didn't write this down, but I have a 1 year summary. So how was it? Numbers, right? That's what a lot of people are waiting for. Actually, I don't know who was waiting for numbers, but you know. All right, 1 year summary. So, for context, let me start by saying I believe I did 1 or 2 conventions years ago, both during one summer. So, one summer I did 2 conventions or 1 convention. So, technically, this was not the very first time I did conventions, but this is the very first time I did it after starting full time as an artist. I had just started back then. I just started taking art seriously, so I was just sketching while I was working full time as I was still working a full time job, not art. And I think at the time I was also, while I was doing the full time job, I was also part time doing film because I did film for makeup for film. Anyway, so back then when I did that, I would have to say I completely flopped. I felt so unhappy, most likely because I felt very, very uncomfortable with my art. I wasn't ready. I just really felt like my art wasn't there yet. I felt uncomfortable with people purchasing my art when I felt like I was still trying to understand how to draw. I guess that's how I felt. I wasn't proud of my art. I just wasn't. And I also blame my introvertness for feeling so tired and drained and overstimulated with the huge crowds. Because I remember talking about this too back in the day, that the crowds was stressful. But anyway, so now comparison years later, how do I feel after trying it out for an entire year? Yeah, because that was just one summer and I did 1 or 2 back to back kind of conventions. Anyway, so how was it this time? Well, it was still very tiring. I'm not gonna lie, it's extremely tiring because I still am an introvert, yes, but at least I'm not really, really far in the introvertness percentage, I guess. I do have a bit of extrovertness in me, but it still is very tiring to be with crowds. However, this time around, I am very, very comfortable with my art now. I am very happy with my art. I am very, very proud of my own art. Okay, I am. I know I've gone a long way and I love it. I'm at the point where when I'm drawing, I feel happy being able to draw the characters I want to draw, the poses I want to draw, because it's actually turning out right. Back then, I couldn't even draw what I imagined in my head, you know? And I just wasn't happy with that. It just wasn't turning out the way I wanted it to be, and the lines weren't that clear. But looking back at it, honestly, I do think that I was being a little bit hard on myself because I still do think that art was cute. It was cute. My old art was cute. I was very harsh on myself. Granted, my art now is better for sure, but it was still cute. All right. So in conclusion, this time around, though, it was so much fun. Hi, Cha-ching. I'll stretch while I talk. I think I must have been too fixated on how inadequate my art felt to truly experience the conventions. Because this time around, man, it's the people that made it so freaking fun. It really was. Like, put aside the art because I still had some of my old art with me. Put that aside. Put aside how much I made first before I even talk about how much I made or spent, whatever. Thank you all so much. So much for making it such a fun experience. I absolutely love seeing all the cosplays, getting to weeb out with everyone, yap about art experiences, how we're doing in our conventions, and because I was talking to the artists too, right? And talking about all the animes and Nikkei and everything. It was just so much fun. I felt that this time I was really present because last time I felt like I was too uncomfortable with myself to even enjoy, you know? To be present, to be there, to talk to people, to really enjoy their company. And even when I did the convention where I only made $5 profit, okay, because there were some tough conventions. I had a blast. I was talking to this one grandma the entire time during that convention where I only made $5. She was telling me about her family, how she even how she had a what you call it? How all her kids only want animals, fur babies, and I was telling her that's normal. I too have a fur baby and they're great. And she is all, yeah, cool. I do love my fur babies, but I want some human babies too. And I just thought she was chill. And she even stayed to watch me dismantle everything, and she was teasing me for taking so long in comparison to everyone else. Even though at the beginning of it, I remember I was telling her, "Don't worry." I was so confident. I was like, "Don't worry, I got this in a bag. I've packed this up before. It shouldn't take that long." And over here beside me, somebody's already done within 5 minutes, and I was like, "Okay, now I look slow. Why are you guys doing this so fast? Now I look so freaking slow." Yeah. Ganbatte was your very first convention? Holy crap! And I was uncomfortable, but I had a lot of fun. Aww! I'm glad you had fun, Cha-Ching. Why were you uncomfortable? Back in my day, we only had tubers. I am Otita. Welcome back. But yeah. Okay, let me continue. So now comes what a lot of people are wondering about, the business aspect, right? Because this is my job. So, Fruit, how did it go business-wise? So we all know you had fun, okay? You already talked about how much fun you had. We know. Did I make moolah? That's what you guys want to know, right? Did I make the moolah? Did I make the moolah? Did I make the cha-ching? Get it? Because cha-ching's here. Anyway, yes. Short answer, yes. Technically, yes. I sold stuff. Therefore, I did make money. And the last two conventions, it skyrocketed completely. Absolutely blew my mind. I made thousands, okay? Like I said before, to some conventions, I made $5. These last two
That's quite
conventions,
big.
I made thousands. You hear me? Thousands. I was so shook. I was so shook. I thought I was gonna be in the red until next year, for sure. I thought I was gonna be in debt by thousands by next year, because before I tell you the numbers of how much I made, I'm gonna tell you how much I spent.
Yeah, boy.
Right. At what cost? At what cost? So, let's go over it, shall we? And first, before I even talk to you about money, how much money I spent, let's start off with talking about how much time it took, okay? Because you know what? Time is money. Time is work, right? You're supposed to get paid while you work. So, like I said before, I closed my commissions for, I think, 5 to 6 months. I'm pretty sure it was 6 months, but benefit of the doubt, maybe 5 months. I turned off my commissions to focus on at least getting 50 chibi characters done and 6 anime pieces. That was calculated, it was planned. If you look at my booth layout, there are 6 anime girls at the top because I measured the table sizes. And it made sense to have at least 6 so that I don't have just small items. I have a big posters to show, yes, I have these characters here, or I don't know. It's just display too, right? Okay. So I continued to draw those until the 10th month. Each chibi, I streamed it, so I know time-wise about how long each one took. So each one took at least 8 hours. At least 8 hours, but that one was just, I think Mast was the only one that took 8 hours because she was barely wearing anything. She was just wearing a bikini. The rest took from 16 to 24 hours. All right. So I'm just going to round it to 16 hours each because Mast was 8 hours. So even though I think the rest took 16 to 24, let's go with 16. About maybe 2 or 3 took 8 hours. Mainly the Nikkei that didn't wear the mask. I ended up with 63 chibis. Also, hello Nathan. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. 63 chibis multiplied by the average of 16 hours. So that is, let's start writing some numbers, shall we? I already calculated this, but I'm going to write it just so that you can visually see this. Multiplied by 16 hours is 1,008 hours. For the chibis alone. Sorry, too high. 1,008 hours for the chibis alone. And then the anime pieces, they took about 24 hours each piece. So that's 144 hours each. Okay. And then, so total for that is, this is 1,502 hours of just drawing. This is just art. Then each convention took at least, oh no, the long conventions took 3 days. No. Each convention itself took 3 days to prepare for 12 hours per day minimum. So this prep work is basically going to different stores to get things printed out, and then going to find supplies for the setup, things like that. So all that, and planning out my layout, because as you guys know, every single convention had a different layout, because I'm still learning, I'm still figuring things out. I say that, but at the same time, after talking to a lot of artists, even if they've been doing it for a long time, they change up their setup all the time too. So I feel like this is something you need to plan for, regardless of if you're gonna do it for a long time or not. There's a few people who don't change up their setup, they just make sure to restock new stuff. But for the most part, I feel like a lot of people spend a long time preparing how to do their setup. But anyway, that's 36 hours times, there's 7 conventions, so that's 252 hours. So then I had days where I was just researching, planning, finding all the pieces for the setup, driving to and from the locations to pick up materials, maybe about 60 hours. So what I mean by this is I watched a lot of videos, because there were a lot of people too who came by and said, you do not look like this is your first year doing conventions. I can understand that, because I really did spend a lot of hours just watching videos, searching on Instagram, searching on Google how they set up their stuff, what looks bad. I can't even name you a lot of the YouTube Canadian artists, because I would research every single convention that I was going to, just to see how many stock I should bring, how much stock I should bring, how much do they make, because am I gonna make this money back? Because I was really dropping thousands of dollars for this. I needed to know if there was an estimate of how much I was gonna make back, because I was draining my savings. I really was, because I was going all in. So yeah, I did a lot of research. So 60 hours sounds like a fair estimate for me. Then I spent 16 hours to fix files, order them about 5 times. So what I mean by this is I order through websites like Vogue Grace to get my keychains done, and things like Vistaprint to get my prints, my mini prints and my big posters. All those things need to be done through a website. You have to communicate with them how you want it done, how you want it oriented, and you gotta fix your files. If you gotta make sure that there's no, let's say if your character looks like this, right? You gotta make sure there's no random blob like this on your character, or else when they crop it, it's gonna look like this rather than a clean keychain like this. So you have to make sure certain things like that, or the pixel count, or how if you're doing a print, you might have drawn a piece that looks like this, but they're gonna cut it up like this. So you have to be ready for that, and you have to orient it, you have to change the sizing, what have you. Those take a lot of hours too. So that ended up being about 16 hours times 5 is 80 hours. All right, sewing, because I did sew some scrunchies, and I don't know how long it took, because I know I spent days on it. So I'm just gonna put 30 hours there. I'm pretty sure I spent more than that, because the sewing machine was being an ass. What can I say? It was buggy as fuck. But I had to figure that out. And there's other things that went with the sewing, like finding the fabric. I need to drink water one sec. Yeah, the right format, right quality. And then when they print it out, you might receive it and it might not be the right color. And then you have to order it again, adjust some things on your files, make sure that it's CMYK instead of RGB, to make sure that the color is proper, and then you have to change it depending on where you're printing. If you look closely, some of my keychains, if you bought the print itself and the keychain itself, the colors are not going to completely match because they're different. They've been printed in different places. So then I have to make sure I'm editing it so that the colors are at least to my liking each time. So it's a lot of time. Yeah, it's a lot of time. Oh, how has been the scrunchies have been really fun because there's some people who go there and they don't know anime stuff. Like they're just there to accompany their family members. So the scrunchies were actually doing really well, and I'm glad because I understand that my scrunchies, because they're handmade, I price them higher, right? To make it worth it, even though I still don't get paid a good hourly wage for it. Because I'm 100% sure it did not only take 30 hours to do all those scrunchies. But anyway, because I remember calculating it, that's how I decided on the price. And then I dropped the price because I decided on $12 per hour. I mean, $12 per scrunchie, at least. But I had to drop it because I didn't like having so many coins. I had to drop it to $10 because the toonies were getting so heavy. Yes, I said toonies. For you non-Canadians, we call our $2 coin toonie, okay? Toonie, loony for the single ones. It's out there. It's a toonie. Anyway, so yeah. But the thing was, it was really fun, so I don't regret anything. The scrunchies were still great. I'm fine with dropping the price just for the experience. And I'm glad that people still buy it because I know that you can just buy machine-made scrunchies. Like, you know, they make a whole lot of them online and you can buy a whole pack for cheap. Granted, mine are not the same type of fabric that they do too, so it is unique in that sense. But I am still very thankful when they do buy it because, yeah, it just goes to show they appreciate that it's handmade. They like the fabric that I chose, things like that. It's nice. All right, so we move on. The conventions themselves took all day long to prepare for. In the morning to travel to, be at the con, travel back, restock, repeat. The weekend ones resulting in little to no sleep. So like I said, Annie Revel was 11 hours of sleep. Animethon, I don't know, but more than 11 hours. But definitely, because every single day I cosplayed, it still took an extra hour just to get into the cosplay, make sure I have the stuff right, even though I still fucked up in Annie Rebel. It does take a bit more time to get into a cosplay rather than my regular wearing clothes that I wear, just to make sure I'm getting it right. And yeah, that did take away from my sleep too, but I regret nothing. It was really fun cosplaying too. So, I'm guessing the 3 weekend long conventions, I would give it 18 hours per day. 3 days, 3 weekends. So 162 hours on that. And then the two-day conventions, maybe 24 hours. Yeah, when I go to Animecon here, I go all 3 days and I have like maybe 6. Yeah, see, you understand? Definitely. Also, I don't think I said hi yet. Hi, Hawk. Yeah, basically, you get it. I think all cosplayers would know, right? I don't even do the wig. I don't do the wig because on top of doing the cosplay, I have to make sure I restock properly, things like that. And I have to go to the convention early to make sure that the booth looks good because sometimes it gets blown away, things like that. Stuff happens, right? So you should go early just in case something did happen so that you have time to deal with it if something did happen. Thankfully, nothing has happened so far. But it's good to be safe. We're trying not to sweat in the wig. Yeah, if I had a wig, I didn't. I always chose a cosplay that I don't have a wig. I put clips for the color variants for the little highlights, but I never wore a wig so far because there was one time I did a cosplay stream and I also had contact lenses on and it was so uncomfortable. I had a migraine and I know that I can't do that to myself at a convention because I'm dealing with money. I'm dealing with merch. I don't want to accidentally do something wrong with, money transactions, right? So And also because I know it's long hours, it's better to be sure that I'm not giving myself a migraine. I'm comfortable enough, even if I end up not eating, be comfortable because conventions are long. They're long. I don't even cosplay. I just have so much fun, and the con here goes all the way till 4 a.m. And yeah. So that's the other thing. My friend ended up asking because he volunteered at Animethon if I wanted to go check out the rest of the con because he's like, "Oh, you get the ticket and you should have fun while you're at it." But honestly, I was so tired. It was the week after Annie Revo too, so I felt like my tired feeling was just piling up, piling up. And mind you, I had blood tests right after all of this, and I wasn't doing good. I just wasn't. So I really did push myself. I know I did. But also the doctor stuff, it's fine. It'll be dealt with. And then so I'm going over. So the 2 day cons, 24 hours total with no. 2 days were 24 hours setup plus this 5 setup. I'm trying to understand my notes. 5 setup, 3 hours each, 15 hours. Okay, I'm adding 15 hours for the setup. Oh yeah. Because the 2 day conventions, we would arrive a day before still, or early in the morning to set up. I think that's what I meant by that. And then 1 day with setup was 24 hours. I'm just writing a bunch of numbers here, even though I already tallied it up over there. So just so you guys have a visual while I'm counting. Otafest was 1 hour bus ride and 1 hour, 14-hour bus ride going to Otafest, 14-hour bus ride going back, making it a total of 28 hours of just traveling there. Various forms of transportations like flights, Uber, etc. accumulated to 16 hours, which is pretty funny because it's less than the trip to Otafest. This is all the rides for the other conventions took 16 hours. Organizing everything afterwards. So after all the conventions had ended, I was really stressed because I had piles and piles and piles of boxes. I ended up buying drawers to organize all the keychains and everything at home because I was not gonna live in a freaking box maze. Sorry, Kodaf, but the box life is not for me. I got shelves. The shelf life is for me. So that took me 4 days, 12 hours each. That's when I've been gone. You know how you guys, I kind of came back, said I was going to take a day off, and that's when I played games with Quiet Moon. And then I disappeared for a few days. That was because 1, I was cleaning up everything, organizing everything, and 2, Locke was setting up the new PC. That took 48 hours to get that settled, figured out. And so with all of this combined, it was a total of 1,891 hours for within 351 days. So almost a year, because I had 2 more weeks or so before it was actually a full year, but I had no conventions left, so I'm calculating it after 351. Oppenheimer numbers. What does that mean? Anyway, so if we calculate it as a full-time job, right? 180, 100, oh no, not 100, sorry, 1,891 divided by 40 equals 47 full-time, because full-time's 40 hours, right? Full-time work hour weeks in a span of 50 weeks. All right. So that means time-wise, this whole convention thing was a full-time job with 3 weeks time off. So I think that's pretty normal because people would have vacation days, right? And that makes sense to me because I went to go see my grandma for a week or something. So made sense that I had a total of 3 weeks off, if I'm calculating right. But these are estimates, but I did try to estimate the lower hours to make sure that I'm giving proper counts or proper hours. Sounds pretty good. Yeah. So it was really fun, and I'm not mad at how much time it has taken. All right, so now the cost. So, my setup and forms of transportation, the merchandise, packaging, decorations, and tools. All that, I guess it'd be easier to just take a screenshot of this. And this also included the plushie stuffing. I bulked it onto this because they were some Amazon orders. So, how much did that cost? That alone. Forms of transporting the merchandise. What I mean by that is I spent a lot of money on boxes that I can travel with to put the stuff in. $3,000. That's the packaging. So I'll go over each one then. My setup, I had multiple setups and I had to switch around different ones, right? So I had the old setup. I did not even incorporate that in the cost because I had purchased that the while back. You remember the white grids? I did not put that in the cost, but I believe it's like $70. So yeah, if you want to count that, it's $70. Forms of transporting the merchandise. What I had done was I ended up getting. Oops. I ended up getting these bins, these boxes. I love my boxes. No regrets. I love boxes. I ended up getting these stackable boxes like this that open up in all sides. It opens here, from the top, from the side, and a little trolley thingy. So I can, stack it all and then move it, stuff like that. Those cost hundreds of dollars. The stuffing for all the plushies cost hundreds of dollars. Packaging, that's, when you buy something from somebody, they give you a print, they put the print in a plastic ceramic thing. That costs some money. And I had opted for a fancy container for one of them. It would look like this. And it had my little logo on it. They're not too crazy expensive. They're 50 cents each, but the thing is, if you buy a lot of it, it does accumulate. Decorations. Some of my stalls had lights. Those were decorations. I had cloth on my tables. I had to get those, cut them up, sew them, things like that. And tools. Tools are things like I had a C-clamp to put things down. I had... Oh, okay, this is why it's so expensive. Remember how I said my shelf thing? The shelf like this, it's supposed to look like this, but we cut off this part. To cut that off, we had to have a saw. It was $200 or something. I love my tools. Locke loves his tools. So it was worth it. So that's why this number is really high too. Part of it is because the tools. We like tools. Makita! Yeah, I have no regrets. That tool is nice. It's been very useful. I love my setup. Anyway, it's an investment because I can use the same setup next year. Travel expenses. So this has the plane ticket, the added cost of... Maybe I should just put it here so it's easier to just paste everything. Travel expenses, the plane tickets, the added expenses of... Oh, I should just do this. It's fine. These are tools. Yeah. So sometimes the tickets to fly places is actually not too crazy. It's not too much. But the thing is, with merch, you have to pay for all the suitcases. And that's when you really rack up the numbers. So for example, I believe a flight to Saskatoon from Vancouver was something like maybe $100 something. But each added suitcase was another $50. And then if you add another suitcase, it's $100 because the second suitcase is more expensive than the other one. And they do not come with the small suitcase anymore. You have to pay for that because now you're only allowed a personal item unless you pay a little more to have the carry-on. So it ends up being an additional maybe $300 one way to add those luggages. So that was $3,000. Expenses for travel was $3,000. And then we talk about the table memberships and PO box. So tables, as in the artist alley, you have to pay to be able to be there, basically, right? And the memberships, it's not much. The membership is I paid some of the stores that I purchased from, right? Just $20 for the annual, for the whole year. So mainly the cost of this are the tables, the PO box I have to pay for shipping things if ever people ordered pre-order stuff, because I did offer that at the convention. I needed a PO box just to make sure I'm not writing down my address, right? That's another $1,580. Which is not too crazy because the Toronto one was $750 and I didn't do that. That was crazy. $750. Anyway, I have an accountant to do all my taxes, and that costs another $150. It gets too complicated, so honestly, completely don't mind paying the $150 because I would spend days doing what he can do within a few hours. And then delivery fees. Each time I order something, I get something from all those other websites like Vograce, right? I will pay for a delivery fee there that I'm not calculating into this because I'll put it in the merchandise fee. So I would pay, the merchandise fee is all together, lump sum. I'll show you that later. But then when it arrives in Canada, they charge you again for import fees. And these, actually, I just got billed another one, so it's actually $120 now. But anyway, you get billed each time it arrives. So those additional delivery fees has amounted to $120. Now, the lump sum. The main thing that cost me quite a lot, was the merchandise. Because most of my stuff are keychains and plushies. And I've said it multiple times before that the plushies, I understand that they are expensive to look at. Like when you go to the convention, do you really want to drop $35 on it, right? Well, because the pillowcase have to be custom made, it's very expensive. And on top of that, when it gets mailed, because it has so much weight, the shipping for it is very expensive. So sometimes some of my merchandise orders costed $400, 400 something dollars. That's without this additional delivery fee, right? So how much did it all end up? Merchandise cost me $8,800. So how much did I spend? I spent $16,630 for 1 year. That is my total amount of expenses. When I saw that number and when I saw this number accumulating, I was ready. I was ready to just pass out, bro. That's a lot. Okay, so some disclaimers. These expenses do not include some displays I already had. Like I said, the cube stuff. I already had it, so I didn't add it up. And some stuff like suitcases. I already had it, I didn't add it up. And I also did not add my food expenses just for a year. So if you have to add the food expenses, because yeah, I get it, eating out can be very expensive, but also it's hard to gauge that because, some people do their conventions and they have Oh yeah, the travel expenses, that also includes my Airbnb. Just so you know. So that's not just flights. I also had to pay for lodging, right? Because I had to fly to these places. But yeah. But this is not without the food, because the food, I feel, one, I didn't keep a proper track of it. And the other reason is because, well, we will all be different with the food, right? Some people eat more, some people eat less. Some people will cook at the convention places, some people will not. I ate out. It was delicious. I did not cook. All right. So, and then after all the convention stuff, like I said, I spent a few days organizing everything. So I spent another $200 on furniture to organize everything, because looking through everything in boxes is just too crazy. I needed drawers, so I bought a bunch of these filing things. Basically, I got a bunch of these to organize my keychains. And I'm not even done organizing. I said I spent 4 days cleaning the whole house afterwards to organize all my stuff, and I'm still not done. And the amount of space. So I feel like if you were to do this, you also have to, you consider all the time you spend on it, but then you consider all the space you need. I have one full closet full of stuff from the bottom to the top. I have my entire desk space bottom area full of two of these and another drawer. So there's 3 drawers underneath my table. I have a small closet full of just the pillow stuff. I have remember that stacked boxes that I talked about? Yeah, I have that from the floor to the ceiling full of stuff. And then I have another section somewhere full of boxes of things that I do not touch as often. So all in all, I think I probably use up the same amount of space as you would a small apartment bedroom, half of it at least. So that's something to consider, because some people do pay for storage. If they do conventions, they pay for a storage unit to house all their stuff. It's a lot. That's a lot to think about. You need to be one with the box, one with the box. Yeah. But I also didn't want to discourage people with my insane amount of spending for this, because I know I did go all out. Like I said, I bought tools. You don't need to buy tools. You really don't. I'm crazy. Okay, I'm crazy. So I will go over a more affordable cost to do this at the very end. However, because I said how much I've spent, I know some of you are wondering, well, how much did you make? Did you make that money back? I said I spent $16,830 with the added furniture organization afterwards, right? Did I make it back? The answer is almost. I forgot the drum roll. Almost. I don't even know if you guys heard the drums. But yeah, I actually made $16,400. That is gross total. So meaning I still do have to pay taxes for it after. But $16,400. But mind you, I also worked full time. This was pretty much full time, right? So basically, I worked full time for an entire year to make a negative $400. But you know what? We're almost out of debt. Out of debt. Debt. Look at the log of my earnings for the last 2 years. Look at my savings. Oh, my savings gone, bro. My savings. Oh no, it replenished, basically. Except we bought a PC. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Impressive. So thank you all so much, because I honestly thought I would be further down in the red. Because like I said, Annie Rebel and Animethon, I made thousands of dollars. What I mean by that is literally more than half of this was from Annie Rebel and Animethon. That's how good Annie Rebel and Animethon was. So that's why I'm saying that I thought I would be further down in the red, because my gosh, I was not even halfway. I was not even halfway to pay this off. So yes, thank you all so much for all of your support, because it was scary. It was very scary. Spending that much was scary. Setting the base is hard, but you have everything now. I do. That's also the thing, right? Because I did spend a lot on things that will be used again next year. Worth investment. That's why I went over all of my separate items, so I can look back and see. Because the travel stuff, of course, I'm gonna have to pay for that over and over and over again. But there are some things that don't need to be paid for again, like the tools. I like. All right, so. So, like I said, to not discourage people with that insane number, let me go over what you could do as a setup, a clean setup. You don't need to spend that much on the setup. So, in comparison, what you could have done instead of what I crazily did. The most common items I see artists sell are prints, keychains, and stickers. With these merch in mind, these are the following essential items with price points in Canadian dollars. Method of displaying everything vertically. So remember how I said one of my setup looked like this, right? With the grids like this. This is probably the most common one I've seen several times being used. It's a pretty clean setup. It's very sturdy for the items that I had listed. That grid thing costs $70. And then if you are mainly doing prints, then I would assume you would rather have a backdrop instead. That one can be a little bit more pricey, just because I would recommend not getting the three-legged backdrop booth stands, because people trip on it all the time and it's not fun. It's scary when people trip on your stuff, because, you're hurting people. And the other reason is because your stuff is going to fall. And I've seen several setups with a lot of tape for it. So it's just better to just invest on the one. If you're going to buy it, invest on the one with a flat foot. Unfortunately, this one is a more expensive cost of $300. So if you're starting out, this is perfectly fine. But if you have a bit of money, I think this is a pretty good investment. However, if you are flying to conventions, unfortunately, most of the ones that are set up like this, they do not fit in a suitcase. So if you are flying, the cube thing is great. It can be put into a smaller container. It fits in your suitcase. It's great. It's great. Anyway, so that's method of displaying everything vertically. Method of displaying the smaller items. So what I mean by this are the stickers, prints, buttons that are going to sit on in the front of your table. Just a tiny little item, so like this, right? That they can just grab and take, what have you, just at the front of your table. Because that's what the thing I was talking about earlier is kind of the backdrop, right? So now I'm talking about these things, the small. What most people use, they stand by the nail polish holder. So that's a stack of staircase looking thin like this. And you just put stuff in it. It's pretty great. You can get ones that can be dismantled. So again, good for traveling. You can dismantle it, pack it in your suitcase. Fits perfectly fine. Fly with it. And it costs about $30. For two of them. So one on each side of your table, I guess. And then you need the container for transporting everything. So like I said, I had boxes, but if you have to fly, you're going to need suitcases. Those cost about $75 each. And if you're starting out, you probably only need one suitcase, unless you have big, bulky things like the pillows. Those definitely took a lot of suitcases. Anyway, $75 for those. And if you are doing local conventions, instead of the suitcase, you could go for a wagon, which is $60. Because the wagon, you just shove everything in your car, shove everything onto the wagon, and wheel it to the convention. And then miscellaneous, these are small things that you would need to set up. 100% you will need tape. You will need a permanent marker. You will need sticky notes. Things run out. You gotta fix things, pricing, whatever. You need a pricing sign. All of those you can do with like 20 bucks. 20 bucks, all right? Affordable. And then merchandise bags. So, like I said before, if you are selling a poster, you gotta put it in a baggie because you gotta protect them. That's just how it is. So another $20. So all in all, with the first option of the vertical display, so we're gonna ignore this and go for this one. That's just altogether $210. So please do not be afraid to start after seeing the number that I presented with how much I spent, because I'm crazy. I'm crazy. All right, $210 is all you need for simple setup at the beginning. You can get all creative and unique afterwards. The pillows were heavy. So I really did spend a lot on the freaking pillows. And the cost of my stuff was also because of the pillow stuffing. I was experimenting with different stuffing because my first stuffing was nice and bouncy, but my fabric, it would poke through my fabric. So I bought really expensive cotton, 100% raw cotton for my stuffing, but it wasn't fluffy enough. So I put the polyester in the middle and then I put the soft cotton outside of it. And it was great. It was really, 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 really super soft. But it was very expensive. And then we found the method of the pillows because the pillows were on sale. I bought it, took the risk, gutted that pillow, touched the cotton inside, and it was really, really soft. And that's the rest of the stuff. I ended up buying 10 king size pillows. So that's part of why my costs was insanely high. Yes, bouncy. The Doros have to be bouncy. All right. That pretty much covers everything. Any questions, class? Thank you all for so much for all the support and for all of you who were curious about how it happened, what happened, how it happened, not what. But anyway, what happened. I really do appreciate it, and especially because I used to stream pretty regularly on Twitch, and I just wanted to give a shout out to all my peeps, all my peeps on Twitch, because we're staying by me, still being here even though I've been gone for a while, and on top of that, a lot of people still continue to subscribe even though again I've been gone a while. And thank you all so much because yeah, it's been a lot, and it's nice to know that I'm still being supported. Thank you. We called 911 because I've been gone. Yeah. Yeah, but I'll be here now for a few months until the next year, right? After all of that, as much as I do love the cons, I also do really appreciate the time of being home drawing after these 2 days of drawing. It's so peaceful. It's nice. I do really like my drawing time. I do really like the conventions too. So it's nice to have a balance. It was really, 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 really fun. I really enjoyed it. And really, it was fun because the people were just so great. It really was so great. I didn't have anybody yelling at me for, I don't know why. I just, things happen. Maybe somebody would yell at me. The only time that I was uncomfortable was during one of the conventions where I had to walk to the convention and there were some people who were hollering and that scared me. And that's it. Other than that scary moment, everything was pretty much up, up, up. But also, I do understand that, like when I was showing you the numbers, right? We have to also be very appreciative of the fun times, that the convention goers give us, because if you doing this, if you're doing it just for the money, I think I did pretty well selling wise. I know there are a lot of people who do even better, but I can understand feeling broken down, especially from one of the conventions where I came home with $5 profit. That's hard. That's hard. It's hard to go home to, and it's hard to feel that at the convention itself. So It's important for us to have fun, you know? And honestly, everybody at the convention made it so much fun for me. Thank you all so much. So much. Because one of the conventions, okay, some more story time, because it's story time anyway, right? One of the conventions I know was slower. And at some point, one of the artists was crying. I don't know what happened, so I can't fully assume, right? But I did hear other people, other artists also complaining how slow the convention was, that they weren't making table back, things like that. And someone was crying. And they were talking to the host, one of the people who was hosting the event, right? So it does break some people, and it's a, I feel like it's such a vulnerable, we're in such a vulnerable state as an artist, displaying all our art, showing everybody like right there and then, look at my art. You know, it's just, you're just very out there presenting yourself, and I can understand the feeling of, you know, how scary it is, because you're just there and people will criticize it. Of course they will. Naked and afraid. Yeah, because there's no hiding behind the screen anymore. You're there and that is your art. They are seeing both. They will judge your art. And I'm just very thankful that people were so kind. People were so kind. Yeah, I loved it. Anything else? Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this, but for attendees perspective, again with the whole, because I was talking about how we should be appreciative of the attendees, right? Because yeah, they make the convention really great. But there was this one lady who someone was buying from. She was talking to somebody else. She was talking to somebody. She was talking to the other artist beside her, and it was her customer. He was the attendee. The attendee was like, "Hi, I'm ready to purchase." Basically, right? You know, I want to buy this. I'm waving my hand, holding something, but I'm a VTuber. I have no arm. Anyway, so he was saying, "I want to buy this," and she turns to him and goes, "That'll be $5." And I was like, "Why are you being so mean? He just wants to buy your art." He said, "Do you know how much of an honor that is?" I don't know. I felt uncomfortable for that scene. I didn't see it. Being told that happened because it was my sister who saw it. Yeah, it can be quite confronting. Yeah, it's scary. It's so scary, especially because a lot of artists are introverts, you know. Like I said, I was pretty tired, and luckily I'm not like all the way 100% introverted, so I had some energy, but I did get drained though. I'm not like Locke, who's 100% extroverted. He gets energy from the people. It's crazy. Honestly, I'd be like, never mind. Yeah. Yeah, part of me would be like that too, because I don't know, that was so mean. And she turned away so fast after too. No communication. I mean, you're introverted, but your interpersonal skills are very strong. What does that really mean? Like, I'm very personable? Yeah? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess. I just like people. I like people. I'm an introvert, so I get drained from being around people, but I do like people. So, yeah. Oh, I don't know about good at communicating because there were a lot of times I wasn't even speaking properly anymore because I was so tired. But people were pretty understanding about it. I was saying things that didn't make any sense. I really was. Because I remember saying, well, that didn't make any sense. People love you? Well, I love them back, okay? Thank you, people. Yeah. I think that was it. I think I covered everything. And I think that was ours, right? Yeah. We sat here for 3 hours. Thank you all for listening. You have any questions? You have any questions, guys? But yeah, Kodaf, definitely. Please have a diary thing. Let me know how it is, because your convention is next week, right? It'd be really fun to get to know your perspective. Yeah, no? Because I saw your last year you showed us your haul. It's nice seeing the haul, but I feel like it's a fraction of the story, you know? This weekend, have fun! Bring a diary. So lessons I learned. Oh yeah, I should go over that. I should put notes. That's one of the things I want to have next time. I want to have a journal. I want to have a convention journal so I can remember everything, or people can write down their names. Thankfully, there were some people I can recognize some faces. I recognize some faces, so that when I saw them again the next convention, I asked them, "Hey, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. Could you just say it to me again?" And I wrote it down then. So thankfully, but the thing is, those were months apart. Now that I won't see them for a whole year, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I can trust my memory. I don't know. So it'd be really nice next time to properly have a whole journal thing with photos. I was thinking it'd be cute to have a little journal with a Polaroid photos, so they can take a cute little photo and then I could stamp it. Ow! Ow. I hit my keyboard. I could stamp it on the journal. Wouldn't that be cute? I think that'd be cute. Because yeah, it's so fun. There's going to be oh yeah. Good luck, Kodaf Wallet. She forgot about me. I know it's gonna happen. I'm sorry. But I mean, I had already moments like that. Thankfully, everybody's been very nice too. They would just jog my memory. They would give me hints, and slowly I pieced the pieces together and I remember who it is. Like, this one person messaged me on Instagram. I know I added them on Nikkei, but I added 3 different people, so I couldn't remember who it was. And I told him, "I'm sorry, could you just jog my memory?" And he jogged my memory. So yeah, so people are pretty understanding, because the convention's pretty long and you meet a lot of people, like a lot of people. So people are pretty understanding about it. It was such a positive experience. If there was something you would change now after what you know, what would that be? Okay, one, Annie Revo, I really messed up the cosplays. Next year, I hope that I have it organized, pack the cosplays all in one pack, so that because the problem is I already put all the cosplays in one section so that I don't have to go looking for each piece. But I wish I had packed it individually so that I don't forget any pieces, little accessories, because the accessories really does change the fit. Yeah. I wish that I packed each cosplay individually. And then with the setup, honestly, I love my setup. After 7 conventions, I love my setup. However, that's display wise. Display wise, I love my setup. However, organization wise, next time, which I already started doing now, I need to organize the keychains individually, labeled by name, because there were a lot of times that I couldn't find the characters and I was really flustered, and it made things even more stressful. When I get flustered, I start dropping things, and I felt bad for the people waiting because they asked for a character and I can't find them. Thankfully, I did do a setup just in case this happened. I have a setup now with, you remember the crazy binder with all the keychains? Yeah, my family's special. Yup. We get flustered. We're just humans, okay? But anyway, the binder. Let me doodle this, give you a visual. But you guys saw the binder I had like this, and I had each the characters' keychains already here, one piece to show what they look like, right? Whatever. Those are the keychains. whenever I got too flustered and I couldn't find the character, I just asked them to grab one of those, the ones in display, and then when they walk away, I just restock it. But I wouldn't have had to do that had I organized the back better. So next time, I do wish that I would organize that a lot better. The other thing is the notebook. I really wish that I had a notebook to write everything in. I am playing with the idea of having my iPad there so people can just record their little hello greeting that I can add to this kind of video, the summary video. That'd be really fun. Playing with it because I really don't know how I could set that up right now. Figure it out later. What else? When traveling, I don't think I'd ever do a solo one. I didn't do any solo ones, but I don't think I will. As great as it sounds, because if I have a helper, yeah, it costs a lot more because you are paying for a helper, and then the other thing is having the suitcase stuff. It's just so draining that I don't really trust myself to travel by myself in that state when I'm really, really tired. I don't think it's worth safety wise for me to do it solo, especially also because I cosplay and I understand that does attract a little bit of a different attention to like cosplaying in the convention itself. Completely normal, right? Everybody cosplays, so it looks normal. However, when you walk outside in the cosplay, especially with the short skirts, or if you have short skirts or what have you, it's summertime. There's some short stuff, right? You are attracting some attention, and if you're traveling by yourself and going to sleep in the location by yourself, I just don't find it safe enough to just do solo. So that's one thing, I guess. I don't know if it's necessarily changing something. It's just something that I did think about doing this time around. I ended up not doing it solo. So, but it is for the future. I don't think I would. I'm gonna head out for a walk. Okay, Zay. This whole story has been pretty inspiring for my own confidence issues. Aww. Aw, thank you, Zay. When it comes to my art and stuff, anyway, I'm not back before the stream's over. Have a good night. Okay, thank you, Zay. See you. Have a good walk. Alone sounds scary, but I feel also after you make a lot of artist friends, hopefully you don't have to do it alone. Like my new friend this year, Squirrel Sprout. Let me go grab her tag for you guys. She's amazing, and she actually offered to be my helper for the Edmonton one. But since my mom had the day off, I thought, that's rare for my mom. So I thought it'd be fun to go with my mom. So, yeah. Why can't I paste it? Anyway, my new friend. Come on. My new friend, Squirrel Sprout. She is amazing. She actually offered to drive me all the way to the Edmonton convention. Can you believe that? Drive all the way there. But for multiple reasons, I decided against it because of my mom was going to be available. So, family time. And also because I was worried if we did drive there, because I already booked an Airbnb. If we had to drive there, I had to change my Airbnb because it didn't have parking. If I had to pay for parking for her car afterwards, unfortunately, the ones that were nearby were outdoors, and I didn't want to do that to her car because apparently there was a lot of break-ins lately there. I didn't want to risk it. So, for various reasons, we didn't end up doing that, but she is a great friend, and it'd be really nice to one day get a travel convention with her. So, like I said before, the traveling not alone, I don't want to do it alone, but I can still do a convention table alone. But it'd be really nice that I've now met a lot of friends I made a lot of friends that I could potentially, travel with later on. Then it won't be as scary. It won't be as scary. But she's probably the most that I've connected with. She's super super nice. She's great, and she vlogs too, guys. So if you're here because you want to watch a vlog, she's an amazing vlogger. I watch her videos all the time. Actually, I was watching one of her videos this morning. Anyway, car thoughts. Yeah. She's very thoughtful. Very thoughtful. You do my job, and I'll do yours for the solo cons. Haha. Very funny. I can't do your job. I can't do your job. Any other changes? Hmm. I had notes. Let's look over my notes. I don't think I made notes on what I'm supposed to change. I put a lot of notes on what people said to watch, though. I have Alien Stage on YouTube. I thought it would be a fun because they showed me their art, their keychain, and it was yaoi, and I love yaoi. So I was like, yo, what's that yaoi about? Because I want to watch it. And I did not expect the YouTube video to be so dark. So I only managed to watch one because I wanted to cry. Anyway. Oh, so after the convention, multiple conventions caught up, what I learned was having small things like bobby pins. No, not bobby pins. Safety pins and various types of tape. Various types of tape was so essential. The bobby pins, I mean the safety pins was for the fabric materials, but for tape, so it's good to have a tape that's not shiny, but tapes on invisible tape. That's essential for, tape that will show. And it's also important to have, but that type of tape rips easy. So it's good to also have the clear tape because that one adheres stronger and doesn't rip as easily. But then it's also good to have masking tape or painter's tape because the other two adheres too well on paper that if you want to remove it, it's gonna rip whatever paper you had. So good to have that kind of tape too. And then to escalate it higher, it's good to have duct tape in case you are trying to adhere something really, really heavy. So thankfully, I haven't had to use that, but I did watch other people need to use that. So, moral of the story is have all types of tape. Oh, I also had electrical tape because my display is the metal part is black, and it was great to have a black tape so that people don't see what I'm taping up. Yes, having various types of tape, very important. That's what I learned. What else? Boop, 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 boop. Oh yeah, and the other good friend that I made was Quiet Moon. I played games with her already. There were some other people that I asked to play games with me so I can get to know them better. But I think because right now the conventions are really really busy for artists, it's been hard to get to connect with them because they're all busy. So later on, I'll hit them up see if they still want to hang out. For other artists being afraid of making the jump, what would you tell them to make it a career and start selling their products? I think the first thing I would say is if you're thinking of doing it to sell, I feel like not you're not looking at the right place right now. I mean, if you want to make money, from art starting out, I just feel like you have to be passionate. You have to be passionate about drawing first and foremost, because I don't think it's safe. I don't think it's financially safe to think of it as your main money making thing from the get go. So why do I say that? One, like I said before, there's gonna be a lot of moments, especially if you're starting out, right? There's gonna be a lot of moments that you're gonna feel is your art good enough? Am I not doing the right thing because it's not selling? Things like that. Am I in the what am I doing kind of thing? And then two, there's gonna be moments because it's just the artist life. It's not a stable life. There's gonna be moments that you don't make enough to pay the bills kind of thing. So I would say if you're starting out, either one or two things. Keep a job that pays for everything, financially all stable, all the things that you that's how I started first. I was doing art while I had a job that paid for my hobby. And then if not that route where you have a stable income that pays for it, then the route that you save up a lot so that you can do it full time. So basically, just make sure you can pay the bills first. Just make sure you can pay the bills first. That would be one of my main what do you call it, suggestions, because you can't really do it long if you can't financially support the hobby. You won't last long. You will financially not last long. And it's what sucks is the reason why I say it's good to have something else paying for the hobby too is so that you're not in the mindset of okay, this is what sells and this is what I gotta draw. Instead of drawing what you want to draw, instead of enjoying it, you are now stuck in the mindset of business, the business mindset. You just need to sell. You just need to sell. Your art is not good enough for this style. Even though I love drawing this style, I have to draw that style because that's what sells. That sucks. Being in that mindset will burn you out because you're just why did you even choose the art career at that point? You're a sellout. You're selling, you're working for somebody. It's just not a company no more. Do something you love. Most likely what you produce will be things others love. Yeah. I mean, I can understand having a few things that will sell, I guess, but just don't go throwing aside what you love to draw simply for what sells, I guess. Reminisce Fruit inviting me in a game, but memory block. What was I doing again? I don't know. I messaged them saying, oh, it just hit me up. I'm free whenever after this date. And they never messaged me again. But I saw on their Instagram stuff that they're busy. So it makes sense. Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome in. But I cannot understand this. I only speak English. Sorry. What else? So I guess for convention doing safety first as in your safety, 2, safety financially, and 3, your sanity safety. Make sure you're still drawing things that you love so you don't burn out. What else? I think that's it. To recommend them. Oh, do a lot of research. I feel like a lot of research really did help. Because I feel like I would have spent way more testing so many different setups had I not done as much research as I did. You forgot something. Never underestimate the part. No! No! I brought Frug for you guys, and you know what? Not a single Frug sold. After many conventions, not a single Frug, okay? No. And I don't even love to draw Frug, okay? I love to draw chibi, thank you very much. I love to draw anime woman too, but chibi's just much more fun. Well, oh, sorry. Played with the thing for a second. Blasphemy. Come on now. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, the art life financially is scary. I think if you want to do it for long term, being an artist, definitely be ready to have build your forms of income coming from different things. That makes sense, right? So basically what most artists would do is they have a Patreon, so they have a monthly subscription through there and they do sticker sheets selling through there. Then they would have revenue from YouTube, and then they'd have revenue from the conventions too. But I do know that a lot of the convention goers in America make a bank. They make a lot. I don't know about a lot about the how much people make here in Canada. I watched a few videos, and I think one of the people who does really really well, she has many methods of income, many many yeah, many methods of income. Does that make sense? Many places she gets her revenue from, like Patreon and YouTube. Take money from different things. Okay, why are you wording it like that? What you trying to say? It reminds me of something. One of the companies I worked for, the owner of the company told me that he was in negatives for the first 4 years. Oh yeah, I feel that. Cost salaries, etc. So he earned enough to cover the cost. So to go zero, then more go into the positives. Yeah, like when I calculated the numbers, right? I am still in the red, but that's how business, because this is also a business, that is how business is. You have to be ready to put a lump sum at the beginning. And I went all in. That's all my savings, bro. And I'm just very thankful that I managed to get most of it back. Where are my calculations? Okay, so I guess the $3,000. The $3,000 is the one that I get to use again next year. So if I didn't have that, I'd be 3,000 up. I am an example of went all in and lost. What do you mean, Amotita? If you ask me, what you described is really incredible, very promising, positive. Yes, actually, I really do think I did really, really well to come out of every single convention positive, for the lowest being $5 profit. That's really, really, really good, I think, because there are some, yeah, there are people who left conventions not positive, but regardless of that, I do think every convention still does have a positive from it rather than just income. Because let me put it this way, the convention goers, the attendees, paid to be at the convention. They paid for a ticket to be at the convention. Here I am, at least paying less because I'm selling stuff, I'm making back that cost anyway. So I pretty much get to enjoy the convention at a discount. At a discount. So if you look at it that way, I think it's pretty nice. And I do want to look at it that way because I'm a weeb. I love anime conventions. I need to pee. I'll be back. Okay. I experienced bankruptcy and negative money. Ah, I see, I see. Yeah, discounted entry. Yeah. So there's that. And the other thing is if you're looking at it as a business, right? If you're looking at it as a business, then consider it also marketing expense because people pay a lot for marketing. Because if you were trying to build, let's say, a Patreon, right? How are you gonna get yourself out there? Your art could be amazing and people would love to be part of your Patreon, but how would they know you exist, right? So paying for the tables and going to the conventions. So I feel like this is a good way to look at it if you're debating over whether or not doing the conventions. I think it's good to have these positive mindsets of what you're doing it for too before getting to the convention. Why is it not moving properly? Anyway, sorry. I got distracted by my VTuber. Is the people businesses pay a lot for marketing, and here you are paying, let's say, $100 to $200 or $100 to $300 or maybe $100 to $750 to represent your art and showcase your art for many 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 people to see. That price actually varies depending on the how big the convention is, so I feel like it's a good gauge too, because there are some that are very small conventions and you can get the table for $80 $50, very cheap, and basically you're paying for your stuff to be marketed. So even if you don't make table back, it's not a waste. One, you got to have an experience, and two, from a business perspective, you only paid for marketing. In a way, this was a year that fully supported the business investment and the research. For sure, definitely. And also I had a lot of fun. So I felt like, yeah, there was a lot of work to it. A lot of work. But experience-wise at the convention itself, it felt like a vacation, really. Once I was in the convention, I was just pretty much just having fun. It's mainly the work aspect was mainly the prior and after. Before and after the conventions felt like hard work, but being at the convention itself was just fun. I was just hanging out with people. It was so much fun. Drawing 60 Nikkeis, creating production chains, building stocks, meeting people and colleagues, learning the ropes for the future conventions, and on top of it, enjoying the events, plus having the setup ready for the future ones. Really good. And finish that not in negatives. Yeah! No, I am in negative. I'm a negative 400. But I'm not negative. I'm not feeling negative. And that's great because, yeah, I think the main thing I would have to recommend for somebody who is looking to do this is to have a clean perspective going into it. Clean perspective, thinking that no, you're not doing this simply for the money. The money's gonna be great if you do well. That's great. That's great. But know all the other reasons why you would be doing this, basically. I mean, comparison to the whole thing. Oh, yeah, yeah. You mean like each convention day? Yeah, each convention day I paid for the table. Each table was, I completely got the table cost back every single time. That was amazing. Yes. Even the really close one. And the really close one, I didn't even sell just my art because it was a flea market. So at the time I was also moving. So it was great to load off some stuff that I didn't need anymore. It was great. Very great, very great. So I got to clean up my stuff and I made table back. Yeah. Other than that, I don't think I'd change anything for the future. Yeah. Thanks for all your questions, Kodaf. They're really fun. Really get me thinking. You have any others? Are we there? I think I've been yapping for almost 3 hours. Dress up lock as a Nikkei. For sure. What is that? What is what, Ed? What is what? Ed! Yes? Yeah, it'd be cool to have Locke as Blanc and me as Noir. Alright, I think if there's no other questions, that pretty much sums up story time for the conventions. And I will just end it with thank you all so much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Aww. Thank you for listening. What about Frug? Oh, no. No. Okay. That ends. This concludes of the recording. Bye, guys. Bye.